like and subscribe. What's up, everyone? So this is the second video for today that I'm making, and I just wanted to make a cool, maybe not a full, but a cool instructional video about just a fun topic. And one of the topics that I like is camping. And so I just wanted to make a video, an introductory video about camping and just how to camp. If you don't know, if you haven't been camping, this is just a fun video. Maybe you'll learn something if you are familiar with camping already. Basically on Counting Wisdom, the segment Counting Wisdom, I'm going to be going over just instructional videos and then how-to videos. So that's my goal. I've made a few other videos. I'll try to create a playlist for those, and we'll just hop right into it. So, camping for beginners, what to know for your first camp out. And I'm looking at this for the first time myself, which is kind of exciting, so I don't have any pre-scripted answers or anything like that. I'll just read some of the first paragraphs. So even if you're the most urban of creatures, the urge to get out of the city to camp out, in fact, can seize your imagination at any time. If you find yourself contemplating car camping for the first time, but also find the gear and the prep to be a little daunting, don't despair. We're here to help. The ultimate essentials for beginner campers is, of course, an experienced outdoorsy person to help you. You can find those folks teaching classes at a local camp store. One of the favorite, I went camping, I've been camping for a while, but one of my favorite camp stores is REI. REI has some great stuff. They definitely are a little bit more on the spendy side. If you want to find some more reasonable price camping gear, I would recommend going to Big 5. They have a lot of cool stuff, or Walmart is starting to have a lot of good stuff there too. But REI for definitely on your professional game. So anyway, so one of the things that you can do, they list 6 things here. So I'll start off with point number 1. To save money, borrow or rent big ticket gear. So big ticket gear is going to be your tent, your sleeping bag, and those are probably some of the top things that you can get. And then you can even rent things like a fishing pole and different things like that. Number 2, to maximize your comfort, always bring appropriate clothes for the cold and rain. So yeah, that's a good one. You know, sometimes you can find yourself out there in the cold when you go camping, and you don't think about how cold it gets at night sometimes, and so you could be underprepared. And so I've experienced that sometimes, and I've just been so cold, and I'm like, why didn't I bring an extra blanket or something like that? And so it's definitely good to be prepared. You know, what I've done is I bought now some long johns, you know, and they're like some legit ones. I paid like some good money for them. Which brings me up another store is Cabela's. Cabela's is a great store that I just recently started going to. I mean, recently in the last like 2 years, but recently started going there, and that store has some legit stuff. Okay, number 3, to satisfy your fresh air fueled hunger, bring plenty of food. So yeah, so the food, what I see a lot of people are doing out there are sometimes they will bring food that you just have to heat up. It depends on how long you're going to be camping for. Now, I want to make a video on homesteading and how to homestead. And you know what? I might just Google it and search and add onto this video right here. So as I go, but we'll see. But homesteading basically is long-term outdoor living and being it's not necessarily completely outdoor, but it's like making your house off grid. So you're not necessarily going to the grocery store to buy your food, and you're not going to department stores or anything like that to buy your essentials or more than essentials. So that's what homesteading is. But camping is periodic outdoor living. All right. So anyway, so to satisfy your fresh air fueled hunger, bring plenty of food. Okay, number 4, to keep your options open, camp close to home. There's no shame in bailing if problems arise. Yeah, there's even for my family, what I want to do for my daughter, or if I were to have more children, is to camp like in the backyard. I've never actually done that before. It's to do like a small like backyard camping, and in that way you can introduce them to the idea of camping, because sometimes when you're going out, like, you know, I've never really been camping like, I would say, deep in the woods or anything like that, and I don't think I want to, but most times I've been camping it's been at campsites, or, you know, something that it's a little bit close to the woods, but it's not like deep, like into the woods area. And so yeah, campsites are good. And then if you want to go home, you can just be like, you know, I'm gonna dip, you know, and just head back home. Okay, number 5, to ensure you're getting a good first impression, postpone your camp out if the weather forecast is awful. So yeah, you know, don't try to rough it. If you're in a storm, like, yeah, you should just wait. Okay, to be sure, number 6, to be sure you leave a good impression for those who come after you, make sure you follow leave no trace principles. So yeah, for what I've searched, and that's a big thing, they call it leave no trace camping. And basically you're cleaning up for after yourself, so you don't leave trash out there and different things like that, making the environment good. Okay, so let's keep going down this article. That was the 6 points. They're gonna break it down. So essential camping gear: the tent, we all know that one. The sleeping bag, that's definitely good. When selecting your bag, temperature rating is a good place to start. If you're planning on going fair weather camping, a summer bag is probably all you'll need, but a 3-season bag will give you more leeway for unpredictable shoulder season weather. Okay, a sleeping pad. I have a sleeping pad now, and I'll just pull it out real quick. And the sleeping pad is good because you're not just on that hard ground. So I'll grab it real quick. So this is my camping sleeping pad. I have it, I use it, it's in my room because I use it as a kind of like a workout mat. So sometimes I put this on the ground and it provides cushion against my hardwood floor. But this is the sleeping pad. It unravels, and you can pretty much just put this inside your tent and on the ground, and it'll give you some padding. So I'm gonna put this back, but yeah, that's your sleeping pad. Okay, so a sleeping pad, a good sleeping pad is like the mattress on a bed, but it's also a high-tech insulation to prevent you from losing body heat on the cold ground. So big air mattresses are good too. I've done the kind of a air mattress type of thing. Those are cool. Like big air mattresses, like what your guests sleep on at home, might look temptingly plush, but their lack of insulation will likely leave you feeling cold. So yeah, they have some good technology out there for sleeping pads. Okay, I'll just go through this list so this video isn't too long. But lighting, a stove, a cooler, pots, plates, cups, and sporks. Those are important. Camp chairs. Okay, what to wear camping. So getting dirty is part of the fun. So wear things that look good, grimy. So cotton is usually a no-no because wet cotton can make you cold and miserable. Do bring a warm coat plus long underwear, gloves, a beanie, warm socks for nighttime, along with a rain jacket just in case. Also pack some sensible, sturdy shoes that your feet, as well as for your feet, as well as a pair of slip-ons for midnight bathroom breaks. You know, that's important actually. So sometimes when I have only one pair of shoes, if I've gone camping, one when I want to go to the bathroom or I want to do something where I don't need these huge shoes on, it's good to bring a second pair of shoes that you can just slip on and they're easy. Kind of like, I usually bring like some Vans, some kind of like those cool, easier to slip on shoes. Okay, so camp toiletries. And I was going to make a video about just how to keep clean when you're camping. So you need to bring your prescription medications, of course, hygiene items, first aid kit, plan for sun and prepare for bugs. So toilet paper, bring your own soap, hand sanitizer. So those are all things, you know, if you're staying outside for a long time, you have to figure out a way to wash your clothes. I was reading an article where, you know, you can actually get infections if you don't wash your body periodically, and especially washing your clothes. And obviously that's important, but I mean, you obviously know that you can get infections. I'm sure you know that. But it was just saying how in the article not to wash your body or your clothes in a lake or in a creek or in stale water that's not moving, because it can infect the water for the environment. You know, the grime that you rub off your body and the oils that you have on you can infect the environment and harm the animals that are there. So you definitely don't want to do that. Okay, meal planning. So if you're an accomplished chef and a meal planner, then do your thing, but be mindful that simple prep is better. Even if you're not a chef, you should do a basic meal plan. It could be as simple as dinner out on the drive to camp, then cooking breakfast and having a lunch before breaking camp the next day. So one thing I never really do is meal prep. I usually just, you know, I don't camp for too long. I think I've camped for like maybe 2 or 3 days at a time, you know. And sometimes I've camped more than that. I've done like a road trip type of thing, and that was fun, but it was like, I want to be more professional, so to speak, when camping, like have an RV or something. And not that you can use the word professional, but I want to be more accomplished when camping and not just, you know, not prepared, you know. And so I think it's more fun, like what they're saying is to meal prep, you know, and just have a campsite out there and just planning your meals. Okay, you can go with box or canned entrees, side dishes, fresh food, or a combo of them all. So I would probably go with box food or canned food. You know, canned food is not too bad. You can get tuna in a can, and then you can have rice, and you can bring your seasonings, and that's a pretty good meal right there. You can boil some rice or fry some rice, you know. So okay, where to go camping? For national parks to RV parks, the possibilities are endless. Humanity's enthusiasm for camping is also endless, though, so make your campground reservations well in advance. An online site that covers public lands nationwide is recreation.gov. So yeah, when I go to campsites, that's where I prefer to go camping. I don't normally just hike in the woods and do some random like spot camping. I'm not very experienced in doing that. I you know, be willing to try it, but it's just not. I usually go to like a RV park or a national park or something like that where camping is pretty easy. Okay. All right. So camp gear essentials. So I'm just gonna go down this list. We talked about the tent and all that. So one thing, a camp pillow. You might not think of a pillow. An electric lantern, a folding table. You have your multi-tool, water bottles, a cooler with ice, kitchen towel, trash bags, plates, spatula, a whisk, cutting board, bottle opener, food storage containers, pot scrubber, sponge, toilet paper, first aid, sunscreen. So prescription medicine. And then for women, the supplies that you would need for being a woman and out there just in case. So yeah, those are all the things. So you know what? This is a 14-minute video. So I'm just gonna Google right now what homesteading is. I'm not gonna Google what homesteading is, but I mean I'm gonna Google how to homestead. And I've always been interested in homesteading, or I think I've been interested in farming. And when I say always, I mean since I was like in my 20s, early 20s. I'm 28, but since like I would say it's been a good 10 years or so that I've been interested in farming or doing some sort of homestead, of kind of living off the land. Okay, and so I'm going to go, let's see, I'm going to go to thespruce.com. And I think that's an actual magazine that you can get in Barnes & Nobles. But anyway, The Spruce. So how to start homesteading now. This was updated 7/17/20. So July 2020. Whether you live in the city or the country, you've been dreaming about homesteading. Your plans might be pie in the sky dreams, or you may be ready to start right this minute. But wherever you are right now, you should know that you can take a step toward your homesteading dreams today. So you might have seen my videos about me growing corn. So I did grow some corn, and it was kind of experimental. I'm just kind of getting sort of my green thumb and trying to grow my green thumb. But I'm hoping that I want to have like a house where I have like a fruit trees and herbs and, you know, spices growing, and you know, it would be great to grow either corn or a possible grain, and then and then have animals there as well. But I don't think I want to have the animals there for like milk or maybe clothing, but that's about it. I think I would probably still go to the grocery store for anything else, like meat or anything like that, because, you know, I want to spend my time doing other things as well. I don't want to just be a full-time like homesteader. Like, I like having the normal way of life too, you know. So anyway, where to start? Pick 1 or 2 projects that you can start in the next month or so. For example, if you live in the suburbs, you might want to get a few laying hens to keep for eggs. Yeah, so that's what I would do. I would have hens for eggs, but not necessarily for, you know, other things. But you'll need to research how to raise chickens, and then looks like I don't have that much storage, so I'm gonna have to cut this video short on my iPhone. Okay, sorry about that. I had to delete some storage on my phone because my phone just has so much on there, so I couldn't finish that last video real quick. But anyway, I'm just gonna go through this homesteading thing real quick. So it says how to start a homestead. So research, then define your priorities. What kind of homestead do you want to do? Identify your property. You know, you can do a homestead between even a small acreage, such as 2 or 4 acres, you can do a homestead. So plan the first year. So plan out all that you're going to be doing for the first year. And then let's see, that's pretty much it. So identify the property, plan the first year, and that's what they have for this article. I'm checking this out. So it says define your priorities, identify a property, and then plan for your first year. Planning the first year of your homestead, whether you're doing that in place in the suburbs or in the city. If you look ahead to move, whether it's in a work or in progress or still in fantasy land, that can help you move your dream to reality. So sorry about that. That wasn't very informative for the homesteading segment, but what I'll do is I will think about trying to make another video for homesteading. I'm not going to commit to saying I will make a homestead video yet, but it's good to think about. And the reason I wanted to mention camping and homesteading is because, you know, it's good to have an emergency plan during a pandemic, you know, that we're in a pandemic, and let's say our power goes out and you don't have some of the resources that you normally have. it's good to have a plan in place, and be thinking ahead about what to do if, you know, let's say you don't have water, or you have to, you know, if you didn't have water in Washington, you can collect rainwater, you know, and have a rainwater collection, and you can buy a container and collect rainwater, but you would have to know how to process that rainwater to make it drinkable or to make it safe to use. So I wanted to make a quick video about camping, and even though I didn't talk about those specific things, it's always good to know what to do in emergency situations. And you know, you can YouTube videos on what to do. You don't have to necessarily read something about it, but it's good to have a first aid kit, and I have a first aid kit, but I plan on buying a more extensive one. But you know, it's a pandemic, you know, makes us think about certain things, and it's good to be prepared. So yeah, I've bought some big bags of rice, from like 20-pound bags of rice, and even though that won't necessarily last for like years and years, I've bought in a few big bags, and you know, doing small things like that can really help, you know, during a pandemic. So just in case you may not be able to go to the grocery stores immediately or something like that, or of course buying water, or having a way to collect water if you run out of water, and just those different things like that are good to think about. But anyway, thanks so much. You can check out more information. I checked out information about what to do on a pandemic or coronavirus at usa.gov, or you can go to coronavirus.gov and find out what to do for the coronavirus. But I found out on usa.gov, they list a whole bunch of scenarios about what you can do if you were in one of those scenarios, like an earthquake or a natural disaster or something like that. So I recommend doing that. They have a cool show on Netflix, I think it is, or I think it's on actually Comcast. It's called okay, sorry about that. My phone is low on storage, so I will have to end this video. Thank you so much. Please check out my website if you have more interest in knowing about WASHYE company. But thank you so much, and I will see you on the next video. See ya.